मशीन लर्निंग ऑपरेशंस, MLOps, नाम तो सुना होगा. It's really popular concept these days, and the idea being that you take machine learning models into production and eventually operationalize them. It's a combination of couple of concepts: machine learning, operations. Word probably originates from DevOps. Today we'll dissect it into that. There's a lot of diagrams that you must have seen for MLOps, a lot of flowcharts, circles. I'm gonna share one of my favorites in MLOps, so do check out. Alright, so this is what I think is one of the best explanation of MLOps, and I think this image, this diagram from Mr. Satish Chandra Gupta is just outstanding in the way it represents the idea. Most people mistake MLOps to be an evolved version of DevOps, but I think what is not looked at, and they loop at a single infinite loop, but if you see, this is a great way to represent that concept where MLOps is equal to data ML plus DevOps. Now, I think most of us know what DevOps is. It's, planning, coding, building, testing a software, and then releasing, deploying, operationalizing, and monitoring that software, and the whole, loop kind of continues. But interestingly, data ML is not very similar, and it's not a very formal word, but the idea being that you collect, curate, transpose, clean, massage the data, and then when you are ready, you kind of start exploring it. You try to find patterns. You do EDA, right? Exploratory data analysis. And then when you are good, when you have an hypothesis, you go about training the model, right? And that has the processes of training, evaluating, and formulating it. Now, once you have these two, seemingly separate process, there is a need for data ML to be operationalized. And what I mean by that is, you can't have isolated experiments running around in your organization. You will eventually need to, take those models, put it into your software development lifecycle, and build an app out of it, right? Now, this app could be, an API on top of the machine learning model. It could be a completely full stack web application. That's left to, the business use case. So MLOps effectively brings together DevOps, data, and machine learning, all of these three areas. Now there's more conversations like data ops, which I'm not touching into now. We'll talk about that in a future conversation, but that's what I think MLOps is. So if you think about how this process really works is, you have to see where things get tied up, right? And if you follow the diagram, if you follow the suit, you start with data, because data is really at the center of machine learning conversations. So you start with the data, you do all of that, you do all that collection, ETL, massaging of the data, and then you go about exploring the data, right? You go about training the model, you building the model, and when you are ready to deploy it, right, when you are ready to evaluate it, then you go about coding, building, and then continuing the DevOps life cycle. And then eventually, when your ops part of DevOps is continue, you just formulate that. And formulate effectively is the monitoring of machine learning here, right? So if you see these two curves, these two infinite loops tie very nicely into a much larger Mobius strip kind of a setup. So data, machine learning, development, operationalization. I think these are 1, data, 2, machine learning, 3, dev, 4, operationalization. In a lot of places, I think machine learning and development can happen hand in hand. People do try to do data also in parallel, but I wouldn't recommend it. So that's a bit and my 2 cents on MLOps. Look forward to future videos which will go more deeper into the MLOps tooling, not tuning. Thank you for your time. Do subscribe to the channel. Bye bye.